which, you know, very often in this world, you never know how you end up being in a certain place. And sometimes it wasn't by choice. Alicia is going to explain that in a couple of seconds here. We'll talk a little later on this morning about some of the sports leagues that apparently they feel that they are ready and good enough to go, which is exciting in one way and a little scary in the others. Anytime you talk about reopening, you know, you have to think about the greater good first. And is it worth it to go ahead with some of these professional sports? We still don't have a vaccine, so we'll definitely talk about that a little bit later. So right now it is 8:11 on Newstalk Sauga 960. Raw Mike Richards, and we are joined by Alicia Ravenna. Good morning, Alicia.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks so much for joining us here this morning. We really appreciate it. We love having our Bell Lifestyle people on. As you know, the show is sponsored by it. The studio when we're there is sponsored by it. And we happen to think at this time, Alicia, it is amazing that they're our sponsor. And right now in this current world, I can't think of a better or more important group of people, considering what we have to put up with on a daily basis, the isolation at home, to have people like that and people like yourself on the show. I think the timing is kind of magical in that way. I really do.
Well, thank you so much for having me on the radio. And definitely, I agree with you. This is the time when we need everyone's help. The frontline workers are great help, but also holistic side of it is playing a very big part of it too.
Now, let's talk about, and you have a very interesting story, and people often do. The reason that you're familiar with Bell products, and it also has to do with something that happened to you personally that sort of got you down this path. Why don't you explain to the people how and what exactly happened to you?
Well, back to 4 or 5 years ago, I was in a car accident. And as a result of it, I was diagnosed with bursitis and inflammation in my body. It was really painful and uncomfortable. I could not move much. I was a little bit depressed because of the pain. And family doctors put me on medication, anti-inflammatory medication, and as well as pain relievers. And as you know, you're a little bit dopey when you take those.
Yes. Yeah.
And you have to take them with food, otherwise they upset your stomach. But because my stomach was very sensitive to begin with, food did not help. So I suffered long-term with not great results from it. At a time, I was just starting my job at Nutrition House, and I was introduced to Bell Lifestyle products. And one of the products that I have tried was the curcumin. We know that curcumin is anti-inflammatory. It also helps with the pain and liver. And also, I tried the shark cartilage, which is a great formula for any kind of joint pain related to osteoarthritis, and as well, any kind of joint pain that you have from accident or any kind of activity. After using it for about a week, I noticed a little bit of a difference. I kept using both products together, actually, and it only took maybe 2-3 weeks where I really put my medicine away, and I just decided to test it on its own. Amazing, amazing results, and I could not tell you how well it worked. No side effects. I woke up like a new person, not dopey. I had better mobility, and everything just felt normal again. And from that moment on, I really started to tell my clients about it more, and having clients come into the store. Nutrition House all of a sudden got busy with both lifestyle products. Everyone wanted to try the shark cartilage and the curcumin that Alicia was on for a month, and that's it. So that's my story. Basically, I'm super happy with that product. I would refer it to anybody, not only people after car accidents, but people that have any kind of inflammation in a body, discomfort walking or moving around, osteoarthritis, any inflammation.
And that's what I was just going to ask you about it. Now that you're healthy, Alicia, and everything's on the positive compared to where you were after the car crash, do you still I guess have shark cartilage as part of your supplement side of your diet?
Yes, definitely. I don't stop because of the ingredients in the shark cartilage. It supports your joints. It builds them stronger and healthier. So it's like, having your breakfast every morning. If you don't eat, you feel weak or tired.
Yeah.
The same thing works with the supplement. If you don't take it, obviously it's not going to work. It does give you that frame of time where you are free of it, but I would suggest staying on it. It's healthy, it's not damaging your liver, and I have very positive results from it.
Well, when you start talking about those kinds of issues, the biggest one we have right now is the problems in elder care, nursing homes, what a lot of our seniors are having difficulty with. And when the weather has not cooperated, it means they're inside, they can't even walk. There's the social distancing. So that also causes complications if you're a senior and you can't get outside or exercise alone. There must be things also, including nutrition, that's all a part of maybe why some of our seniors fall victim to this. And again, this is not saying that this kind of thing avoids getting COVID-19. We're not saying that. We're talking really about your immune system, joints, those kinds of things, because that's what suffers when you have this kind of isolation.
Definitely, I agree with you 100%. The number one issue is staying home now and not being mobile. Taking control of our health and well-being during the isolation is very, very important. Not only nutrition, which is a big part, and keep active, basically, right? Focus on your dietary intake. Don't stress eat. My advice would be to stay on the same schedule as before COVID. Do everything the same. Get up at the same time. Do your exercise at the same time. Eat a healthy meal. Don't overindulge. And try activities that keep your mind busy so that you are not overeating and not sitting in front of the TV all day, which is very easy to do.
Yeah, certainly is. Alicia, just getting a question here from Twitter, and we welcome everybody to join our conversation here with Bell Lifestyles. When you've taken shark cartilage, do you combine it with anything else? Also, when you're taking this sort of supplement, do you have to take it with food like you have in the past with other prescription drugs, even though this is clearly not a prescription?
Definitely. This is my personal opinion. I'm sure the experts will have a different view on it, but from my experience, and I always suggest to my clients, take your vitamins with food. It just helps the absorption of the vitamin better, I would think. It doesn't upset your stomach, and it's much better for the absorption.
You're right. Experts do disagree, but I can tell you that the President of the United States had some great ideas about injecting Lysol into your system. I would think that you, as a specialist, might disagree with that.
Yes, definitely.
I didn't go to school for it, but I think that's kind of crazy talk, is it not?
It's very crazy, yes. I've never heard anything like that, so I'm not going to comment on it.
Now, when it comes to sleep, because that's another big thing, it's probably one of the areas that all human beings a lot struggle with. What is your suggestion for it? I know Bell Lifestyle Products. I just used one this past weekend. Like, they have the tea, and then they have the pill, and boy, did that work! That worked just so well. That worked beautifully. What are the kinds of things you can do to improve sleep? Because I know a lot of it also could do with nutrition, just sort of your diet as well. But sleep sometimes really suffers. For instance, when people are feeling, anxious.
Yes. Sleep is an important part of our life. If we don't sleep, we suffer. And we not only suffer with our moods, but we suffer by just being tired all the time, right? And not functioning the same way as we would usually function. So I would say during this time, it's hard for people to sleep because there's so much stress going on. You have to remember to always have a healthy diet. Finish your meals at 6 p.m. so you don't go to bed with a heavy tummy. Make sure you are able to go outside and take a little walk. If you are not able to do things like that, you can do a lot of exercises at home as long as they raise your heart rate. Diet is very important again. So your meals should be divided into 3 different times. And for sleeping, I would suggest if you cannot fall asleep, definitely Bell Lifestyle products are amazing for that. You can use, I'm not familiar with the sleeping side of their products, but I know that their lines are very popular and they have teas that can help you sleep. And definitely you can take the tea together with a supplement. It will not harm you.
Healthy snacking at night. I mean, I've tried the sound sleep as well, and it does work. But when you talk about full stomach, or at least not a full stomach when you go to bed, is there certain foods you recommend for night? Because I always want to, you know, if I'm watching a Netflix movie or a show or something, I love potato chips. I love chocolate. There isn't too many things I don't like, cookies, cake, you know, but don't worry, I don't eat them all at the same time. But I want something sweet. Is there something you recommend to the late night snackers that want to have something to munch on at like 9, 10 o'clock at night?
Yes, well, if you have to munch at that time, I can suggest maybe cashews. Cashews have properties in them that help you fall asleep better. I would definitely stay away from sugar because sugar causes inflammation and it will also wake you up a little bit. So it's not going to help you sleep. A glass of warm milk helps. It's rich in calcium. It's very healthy. Snacking is not something that I suggest before bedtime.
Sorry, I'm just being honest.
But if you must, there's a lot of good protein bars that are low in sugar on the market, and they're pretty tasty. You could have a bite of that if you're looking for something.
By the way, the product that I used was called Sound Sleep. It's not the tea; it's actually the pill, the supplement, and it worked really well. The one thing that I liked about it is, you know, and I don't need it all the time, and I'm generally a pretty good sleeper, but when I woke up, you don't have that weird grogginess that some of that other stuff. And if you go to, buy some of those other ones, the sleepies and all that kind of stuff, boy, that can really, you can have some tough times. And I don't know how healthy that stuff is for you either.
Yes, no, it's not, because they loaded with different products that make you groggy, like valerian is very heavy. Sometimes the quantity of it is not divided into the portions that each human can take. There is also other ingredients in there, melatonin. If you don't put enough, you won't sleep good. If you put too much, you may wake up groggy. I think that the Bell, I'm not familiar with that formula, as I mentioned, but I do know that a lot of clients buy it, and that they're very happy with it. Bell Lifestyle products, all the ingredients that so far that I've come to read up on about what they have are very natural. They're herbal, and I doubt they would make you groggy. Their formulas are designed to make you feel good so you can wake up in the morning and be yourself.
Alicia, thanks so much for joining us here this morning. Now, people are probably listening, wondering where exactly you're located, and maybe they would like to be a client. How would they get a hold of you, and where do they find you?
They can find me at Nutrition House in Heartland in Mississauga, and they can call me on my cell phone anytime. I also help out my clients right now during these tough times. They give me a call just to talk because it is lonely. You are not meeting up with people like you used to.
Mm.
And not always you're making the best choices when you are home alone. So I support that, and we have a little talk, a little chat, and, you know, to just get everybody back to normal. They can call me on my cell phone. If you
can get the number. Absolutely, you can.
Yes, it's 647-460-8319. I'll be very happy to talk to anyone about inflammation. Is my main niche, and anything that has to do with nutrition, I'm very happy to help with.
Well, we're very happy that you joined us here today. It's always a pleasure. That was, again, it's always very interesting and very helpful. So thanks so much, Alicia, for joining us here this morning. You take care, and hopefully very soon we'll be out and people will actually be seeing each other, which will be good for your clients as well.
Thank you. I'm hoping for that myself.
Yeah. Thanks, Alicia.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
That is Alicia Ravenna joining us here this morning from Nutrition House. She obviously has been practicing holistic nutrition for the past 5 years, and what a great story. And again, when you come by it naturally like this, when she talks about being sort of in that business, but then, you know, not having any success with the RX drugs, all of a sudden she found Bell, and it has helped her immensely, not only for herself personally, but professionally as well. So we appreciate that. It is a little past 8:25. We still do traffic on the fives, and here's Dave.
Thanks so much, Mike. We are looking at no delays across the 401 this hour. Both directions, actually, east-west, collectors, express lanes, everything of that nature, having no difficulties as we make our way through the Mississauga region. 410 Brampton having no problems as well. QEW, Burlington through Oakville and Mississauga. A little bit of a buildup once you get into that Gardner Expressway commute between the two there. So do watch out for that, but nothing too serious as well. Currently here in the city of Mississauga, it is 5 degrees Celsius, sunny skies. This will be a beautiful day ahead of us. We are looking at our daytime high around 14 degrees.
Checking the Lakeshore West, it is the same drill as always, and will be until further announcements, I'm sure, about the so-called reopening. It seems that that is all the talk about, gradually getting some of our freedoms back, if you put it that way. But right now, the GO train is still reduced. Therefore, if you need more